exactly is happening as at this morning. 72 people reported dead. Thabo, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm well, but the news in South Africa is not pleasant. What is happening there currently?
Right, so what you are hearing about South Africa is quite correct. Many people are losing their lives. We've got soldiers in the streets in about two provinces, Gauteng as well as KwaZulu-Natal. And of course, we are also running out of, food, water. No, water we still have, like just a few other essentials. So it is true, the situation is so bad. The looting continues in many parts of these two provinces, but we are now seeming to be getting a little bit better, although we still have this protest spreading into other countries.
So when the unrest started fresh in the SA, you experienced it. What happened to you? Tell me about that.
Right, so in the building where I stay, actually, I think it's about 3 blocks away from the Walls, I love the butchery, and a few other shops were also looted and some were set alight, but unfortunately they managed to extinguish the fires.
Getting very close to almost every places. I can tell you there is one building also in the Durban Central where it was set alight and people had to jump out of the windows, others breaking their, of course, legs and, other parts of their bodies, children being thrown out the windows. So the situation is really getting dire. I'm not going to lie and say things are going to get better because every day wake up, there's always news too. Some building burning, there's always news too, something bad happening in the streets.
Now, malls have been burnt. Visuals we've seen this morning are showing us some malls that have been burnt and all that. The unrest keeps spreading. How are we going to curb this?
Well, I think the only way to curb it is for the president, firstly to apologize for the ethnic remarks, because when this whole thing started, instead of focusing on the problem, he tried spinning it and making it look like it was just a group mobilization of some ethnic group, culture people. And then, he really sort of angered a lot of people because, he knows very well that people are speaking about the Constitution. There's an issue of someone's rights, like the former President Zuma, who has been arrested to 15 months imprisonment. Like his right, he was denied trial, and that's what they're saying. Give this man his fair chance to actually have a day in court. Give this man a fair chance to speak in court. Give him an opportunity, like every other South African, to actually go there and answer as to what he did during his time as president. But now in Zuma's case, they just put him and throw him in jail without giving him that opportunity, even when he appealed, to say, look, I am not saying that I will not appear in court or I will not go to the Zondo Commission. All I want is just for you guys to allow me an opportunity to go to court, as of course it is enshrined in the Constitution of South Africa. But, our government decided otherwise.
Now that you've mentioned the court, let's talk about Jacob Zuma's legal team. They've been in court. We are told that the Apex Court is yet to make a ruling as what exactly happening to him, if he's going to stay in jail or be released, or what will happen to the other charges and all that. But we also understand that some big wings are talking to make sure that he's brought out of jail. What can you say about this?
Right. So yesterday we received news that there was some sort of political intervention taking place. There was a helicopter that flew to escort into the prison facilities where he's being kept, and trying to find a political solution into releasing Jacob Zuma. Of course, nobody wanted to confirm this. I can tell you his foundation also, denied the fact that there were such, activities happening. But I can confirm right here that there is such talks happening, whether it's about him to try and calm down the situation or to get him released. But one of the people who are actually, very deeply involved in this matter, I called and spoke to him personally in the morning, because they used his chopper to even fly to escort prison facility where he is. And he said to me, look, this is still a very, very confidential matter. It's in the early stages and therefore would not want to talk about it in public. But such talks are actually happening. So we are hoping that maybe sooner or later, very soon, we're going to have a direction as to what is
Court is still, busy with the concluding the matter of Jacob Zuma in terms of, judges having to apply their minds and use the constitution to arrive at a conclusion whether they're going to allow Jacob Zuma to go or not.
Now, Thabo, this isn't the first time we experiencing looting and all that in South Africa. And one who asks, is the looting happening now? And is it happening on the back of Jacob Zuma's arrest? Is that really the case? Or persons or people were on the brink of going out there to cause loot, looking at the economic hardship in South Africa currently?
I think, other than the fact that people are not happy with what is happening, there is an issue of poverty. We cannot downplay that. People are poor, people are hungry, people, are frustrated with the endless lockdowns. People always, lose jobs due to whatever is going on in the country. Our economy has not been growing. Many people who are going out there to loot are not just rich people. These are poor people who, of course, cannot afford the services, like the goods that they are looting right now. So this is also being used as an opportunity, of course, to get the food, because they are taking what is essential to them, what they need, something they cannot afford. I'm not here justifying the stealing and the looting and, damaging to infrastructure, but I'm speaking to the fact that the people are looting, and I can tell you this is nothing new. And in every revolution, there will always be destruction. There will always be people stealing. There will always, because you must hit where it hurts the most. If you want government to actually demand,
You must hit where it hurts the most. Imagine if this was just a peaceful protest. You guys would not be interviewing me now. So hit where it hurts the most. Go into those shops. You must destabilize the economy. Everyone else will be up on their feet to find solutions. We must not act like this is something new. It happens everywhere in the world.
And the numbers we've recorded, 72 people dead, feared dead, and 10 out of these 72 died out of a stampede. Tell me more about that.
Right. The deaths that you are seeing right now are as a result, of course, of what has started, but also now the matter has become very racial profiled, because you have got whites now shooting at black people. There are some shops that are opened in some white suburbs, and black people are not allowed inside. There are suburbs where there are only white people living there, and when they see a black person, coming into that place, they shoot at them thinking they're going there to burn their stuff. We've got Indians and colors that have also, turned into each other. And this is it all started when the president said that it was an ethnic mobilization, of course, looting and, damaging properties. Now, white people are mobilizing, blacks, you've got Indians and colors mobilizing and shooting at black people. So this is not only just about the stampede and the police shooting. In fact, the police really tried their best not to shoot a lot, and they were not shooting people. I was there, I saw it. They would just tell them to stop doing what they were doing. And the soldiers, there's not been reports from, the deaths that resulted as a result. That happened as a result of, soldiers getting involved. So it's people shooting at each other because of the remarks which were made by the president suggesting that it's the Zulu people in KwaZulu-Natal who are starting and doing this.
Thank you for your time here with us this morning.